secure, I have to have value. I want to be worth something. I want to be worth enough to attract the attention of others.
Hello everybody, James here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a channel where I basically post my art through drawing videos, as well as talk about things that I just wanted to talk about, things that I want to share or want to get off my chest through a stream of consciousness type of talk or podcast or whatever it is that you want to call it. So yeah, I'm back with another video, and this time around I decided to draw my OC again. I drew him once before in a previous video, and I just felt like doing another piece with him. This time around I am drawing him in this sleepy time scenario, which honestly mirrors some things that I've been feeling these past couple of days IRL. I haven't been sleeping well recently, and I guess it brings me to my main point, or the thing that I kind of want to share in this video. It's mostly just, what do you do when you can't really sleep at night? I'm no stranger to this. I'm not really sure if I have insomnia or anything of the like. I just sometimes find it hard to sleep. I sort of like have these sporadic moments of where I just wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to lie down and just doze off, you know? I think my brain just keeps on thinking and going on and on about different scenarios, and you know, it's just very active during the night, I would assume, I think at least, as it prevents me from sleeping. So I decided to draw my OC again for this video. I drew him once before, so if you haven't seen that video yet, feel free to go check it out. It's the first official video that is part of this little series that I'm doing. So if you haven't seen it, you can go check it out. But yeah, I decided to draw my OC again in this bedtime, cozy night setting, which I think mimics my current situation, IRL. I guess just to share, the last couple of days I haven't been able to sleep very well. I'm not sure why. It's one of those things where it just happens randomly. I've always had trouble sleeping or having a consistent sleep schedule. It usually teeters around me sleeping too late or sleeping too early. For the past couple of months, it's actually been really good. You know, I feel like I gotten the groove of things, and you know, I've been able to set a good routine for myself. I actually have a pretty weird schedule. I sleep very early and wake up very, very early. You know how people would say that they're early birds, right? Like boomers waking up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and stuff. Well, I go beyond that. I actually wake up at around 3 or 4. Not really sure why, but it's been months where I've had this schedule. I would sleep at around 9 or 10 and then wake up at around 3 or 4. It's been a natural occurring thing for me for the past almost a year now, I think. It's been quite a while since I've adapted this schedule, and I would say that it's worked pretty well for me. I haven't been the best morning person, and ever since I could remember, even back when I was in grade school or high school, I would always be in the morning sessions, you know, for my classes. So I always had to wake up very early because my classes would start at 7 a.m. And I quickly discovered that I am not a morning person whatsoever. I would always be very slow in the morning. And the thing is, it's not that I don't wake up. That's the thing. I'm awake on time all the time, but I just don't move fast enough. I don't have that sense of urgency that other people have in the morning. When I wake up, I usually want to lie in bed longer, and most of the time the reason why I get late to classes or things that I need to be, it's because I slack off. I'm very slow when I wash up, when I prepare, when I dress up, eat, whatever it is that I'm doing first thing in the morning. It's you going 0.5 speed or something like that. It's honestly very crazy. And so after adapting this schedule of mine months and months ago, I discovered that I was actually doing better with my obligations and my responsibilities, since the first thing that I'm doing for my day is not necessarily my work or my job. I mostly have time to spend time for myself, do things that I like, draw, watch things, explore whatever I want, whatever hobby that I want, meditate, have some time for myself before I actually start my working day. And it actually helped out a lot, because one thing that I've noticed when I was in college, the first subject is always a dead giveaway. I would always phone it in. It would always be the worst subject that I've had, which is very unfortunate for me, since a lot of my major subjects are placed in that time slot. My major subjects would be my first periods all the time, and my grades would suffer because my brain just couldn't work fast enough during exams or during lectures at 7 a.m. And I'm just like, So yeah, ever since I ended up having this schedule, or ended up waking up at this time, I've always tried to maintain it, because I obviously see results. I am not as slow when it comes to work, because when I have to go to log in and actually report for work, I've already been awake for 6 hours already, almost half of my day basically. And it just makes it so that I'm less groggy, I'm quicker on my feet, I can think of things better, and I could work better, essentially. Because I've been having this schedule for a while now, but recently, especially after the hell week that I had the previous weeks, which is another video that I have. If you haven't seen that, you can also go check it out. But last week I shared my experience about having very stressful first 2 weeks of 2022 work-wise. But after that week, I would say I actually have a very relaxed time at work currently. Don't really have much going on, and because of that, I've sort of fallen into this state of just lax, or just when you're not really doing much, and you're kind of just gotten used to not doing anything. Yeah, that's where I'm currently at right now, in terms of my motivation to work. I just feel like I don't want to work, I don't want to do something, I just want to lie down the entire time. And I feel like it's caused me to have this sort of shift in my normal routine, in my normal schedule, because it's not like I'm doing something else while slacking off at work. I'm also just not doing anything really. I haven't had time to really draw or play more games, or to do anything worthwhile other than work. I essentially just like waste time unintentionally this time, and it's definitely affected my sleeping habits, because I would find myself sleeping in the middle of the day when I should actually be working. If if you ever, it's honestly, I would never recommend sleeping in the middle of the day while you're on shift, but sometimes it does happen. You just fall asleep. Um, yeah, don't be like me. But yeah, so since I sleep, or I sometimes fall asleep in the middle of the day, it messes up with my schedule, because by the time that I reach the point where I would normally go to bed, I suddenly couldn't go to sleep. And I would be like, well, I don't feel sleepy yet. What else should I do? Should I draw? Should I, you know, play a game or whatever? Should I watch something? I'm not sure. And I always think about, my routine, my sleeping schedule. I want to keep it because, like I said, it works for me, and it has given me pretty good results as far as, my mood, my mental health. Even at work, it's definitely helped me a lot having that schedule. I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. It's a very crazy crazy kooky schedule. Definitely not for everyone, but since it works for me, I intend to keep it that way, right? And so I always want to. I try to force myself to sleep, but I just couldn't. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you ever get that feeling where you're lying in bed, you're trying to close your eyes, but your brain is just it's just going on and it just wouldn't stop. It's very active. I feel like that's something that I really want to talk about in this video, because it is something that I've always struggled with, whether it's now as a working person or back when I was still a student. I've always had sleeping issues, and what I've noticed is that it will always be the same thing of me lying in bed. My body is completely tired, it wants to rest, but my brain is just trudging forward. It keeps thinking of these scenarios or how it would normally operate during the day. And I would be like, please stop, I want to sleep, but it just wouldn't let me sleep. I would have moments of lying in bed for 20 minutes, but I still didn't get a wink of sleep. It's almost as if like I'm just closing my eyes and not exactly getting rest. And I hate that feeling, because you're not exactly resting, you're not exactly getting to recharge, you're just kind of wasting your time, I feel like, because you still haven't slept. But I don't know, like, it's a struggle, definitely. So I've been having these nights, right? And at first I was very frustrated with myself, because I was saying that it was my fault, or I wasn't being responsible enough. I didn't have the self-discipline to maintain my schedule or to sleep right, whatever. But I think the scariest part of having sleep issues, and I think people who do have, these issues similar to mine would agree, is that you're often left with your thoughts when you are in these moments where you can't sleep, or where you just can't put your brain to rest, where it just keeps on going and going, and it's hard to turn it off sometimes. You do tend to fall into the spiral of thoughts that, let's just say, is not the most healthy for you, or it's not the best thing for you, right? I like to think, or I like to refer to having these thoughts as fighting the forces of evil. Since I've had moments like these in the past where it's just never good. You know, your brain just keeps on going down this rabbit hole, and you just make yourself feel worse and worse and worse. And you know, it just deteriorates you, honestly. A lot of the progress that you've made, you start thinking that they're all irrelevant. You start walking 10 paces back instead of leaping forward like you should. It gets very complicated. And I think it's during these times where you are the most vulnerable to these spirals, you know, because when you're busy and you're doing stuff like when you're working or when you're studying or when you're hanging out with friends, you don't really have these thoughts. You're preoccupied. But when you're on your own and you're faced with this dilemma, you can't sleep, there's a certain level of stress there. I feel like these thoughts or these forces, it's a lot easier for them to attack us when we're in this state of limbo, where we're too tired or we're stressed or we feel a certain emptiness with us. That's when they start to just like come at you. And I guess what I did was I just didn't want that to happen to me again. I didn't want to fall back down to that place where I was just sad all the time, where I was not doing good by myself. You know, I wasn't being good to myself. It was definitely a struggle to get back on track, but I felt like what helped me get through it was art, honestly. I'm very happy that I have that I've found new hobbies to do and to explore these past couple of months, and I just feel like it's such a lifesaver having something to do, having something to occupy that space in your brain, you know. I just basically, these past couple of days when I couldn't sleep or when I'm having that thing, I would work on this specific piece that I am showing right now in this video. I think that's why it took a while to release a new one, because I've been working on this piece little by little, like maybe around an hour to 2 hours each day at night before I go to bed. And so the progress was really slow, but I felt like it definitely helped me. It definitely helped me regain composure and get back to that, tilt myself back up again, you know, because I was definitely feeling this slip. You know, I was slipping off of my mojo basically, and I used this piece to sort of just like feel better. Like I said, similar to my YouTube channel, I do think of my art as a therapeutic experience for me. It's a journey that I'm currently on, trying to improve and get better. And for this particular piece, I really wanted to try new things that I haven't done before in my old pieces, like having a more detailed, or I'm not sure if it's detailed, but having a more established background, a more established setting, playing with lights and like effects a little bit. And so yeah, like that's just been what's up with me the past couple of days. I hope things that I've shared in this video could help somebody if you are struggling with some sleeping issues as of late. I hope you find something to shield you from the forces of evil that I'm talking about. I don't want you to get swallowed up by those thoughts. If you're having some of those issues, I hope you're able to find something to distract you or to give you some sense of balance. Definitely know that it's okay if you mess up your sleep schedule a little bit. Just go with the flow until you find some peace first before you start readjusting your body into sleeping your usual sleeping schedule again. If you don't have a sleeping schedule, that's a-okay. If you are the type of person to just watch streams or watch YouTube videos or whatever it is that you do until you pass out, then go for it. But if you're that type of person that's been meaning to sleep but couldn't, I suggest just use your energy into something that gives you joy, gives you peace, whether it's drawing like I do, or listening to a podcast, or watching a YouTube video, or hanging out with people. Whatever it is that you have to do to shield yourself from those thoughts, please do it. Please do. It helps out a lot, and it definitely helps you find balance again, just until you get your mojo back, because we all definitely have those moments. So yeah, that's it for my ramblings in this video. I didn't really have much to say, mostly just wanted to share my experience and some ways that I was able to get over it. I definitely am back on track again and sleeping right according to my schedule. And yeah, so this is my final product. This is the final drawing. I ended up having to play around with the effects a little bit after the recording, so there's definitely like a jump. I felt like I got very trigger happy, just like messing around with whatever it is, and ended up having this piece. So please look forward to more things that I want to share, whether it's through YouTube or through Instagram. Again, if you are interested, you can also follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. My links will be posted down below. Also, if you like what you've seen or what you've listened to, or if you're interested in having more comfy talks with me, feel free to like this video and give my channel a subscribe. Like this video and click the subscribe button. I got my brain kind of farted there. Yeah, I'm definitely working on something based off of a movie that I've recently watched. It's really, really good. Please look forward to my next video to find out. I hope to post it somewhere in the next couple of days. We'll see. But yeah, until then, I hope you all have a nice time sleeping. I hope you have comfy dreams, and stay away from the forces of evil, alright? Okay? You are not alone. You have somebody to talk to. You have me to hang out with you and give you some comfy vibes if you want to take a nap and sleep or whatever. But yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the drawing. I hope you enjoyed the talk. And until next time, bye-bye.